Hi, welcome to Closing Time with David Monsour. I am in, where are we in?
Ybor City.
Ybor City. Well, we're not in Ybor City.
Ybor City. You don't hear music.
We're not in the club in Ybor City. It is 8:49 and we are headed to Orlando for a builder show. What is this called?
FBMA show, Florida Building Materials Association.
Yes, and I'm here with Mr. John Dudak, and John and I have known each other for a very long time. So we're going to do a little bit of reminiscing, talk about what life is like now versus what it was like in 1979 when we met. I would guess that's about right. 1980?
Something like that.
I don't know. We was like 6 or 7. I was on the Indians.
I was on the Red Sox.
NCAA, baby. North Clayton Athletic Association. We used to sell Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yep. Now and later.
Now, that's what you did on the side to make money.
Yep.
I'm talking about for the rec. You remember we had to meet up at the front?
Yeah, sell the candy
You had to
fundraiser.
sell the candy. I'll stop and tell the story right now. I remember we sold, boxes of Reese's, and it was the 4-pack. And I was a little chunky kid. I liked my candy then, just like I do now. And I remember we went back a year later, and they had like 20 cases of Reese's in there that we didn't sell. And they're like, you can have them. They got to be bad. And I took like 2 boxes home, and they were terrible. Like, so Reese's do have an expiration date. Like the inside had turned chalky in a way. I guess they just dried out.
Yeah, just dried out chocolate. I don't remember the Reese's. I remember those like fake ass candy bars.
Oh yeah.
They were.
I think they still sell them.
Like chocolate and caramel
yes,
inside.
Yes.
Bite into it and the caramel spills out like
all on your
water.
Chin. Yeah, I remember. But just as a side note, I did lick the chocolate off of the rest of those Reese's cups, even though I couldn't eat the center. I still see, don't they sell them those candy bars? Because they had the Rice Krispies, the caramel, and then just regular milk chocolate.
Yeah, I see some kids, like, it seems like mostly football.
Yeah.
And they'll be walking around. They have that, basic generic white wrapper on it that says chocolate crispy bar.
Do you buy them when you see them?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I buy them because I remember doing that.
I buy it every time.
Same here. Like, I know my parents gave me like a whole damn speech to go around the neighborhood and how to knock on doors, look at people in the eye, when you do your sales pitch, and then give them the puppy dog eyes to get them to finally buy it.
Even, like, I know, like, I'll go to a Georgia game, whether it's in Jacksonville or wherever it is, and the kids will be out hustling, selling those candy bars. I don't care if they're making that money for Little League or if they're keeping that money and pocketing it. If a 12-year-old kid is out hustling, walking around, sweating, selling candy bars, I'm buying 2 or 3. And it ain't just because I'm still a little pudgy. I do like candy. But that's just anytime. Every lemonade stand, everything I'm stopping.
If the kid has the guts to do it, I'm buying it.
Exactly.
I'm not going to say no to a kid. So any kids that want to come down to Tampa, Florida, Clearwater, Florida, come find me. I'll buy your goods.
Put your address on here. You gonna have kids knocking, selling everything. Now, I'm not a big cookie dough, because that money's going to the school. I'm like, can I just give you $4? Because
cookie dough.
Y'all don't sell cookie dough?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my middle school, and not for sports. Like middle school, we sell cookie dough. We sell wrapping paper.
I remember wrapping paper.
Well, now the kids sell cookie dough, and it's like $26 for a vat of cookie dough. I'm like, but the school's getting $4. Why don't I just give you $10, and I'll go buy my own cookie dough for $10, and we both win.
What they should do is go down to Costco, Sam's Club, buy boxes of candy, make their own margins on it, and then sponsor their own sales.
And
they'll make more money that way. The kids will.
I'm going to talk to the orchestra lady, because they're going to be selling that cookie dough again. It drives $26 for a thing of cookie dough, and it says gourmet on it, but it's not.
Ours was popcorn. That was interesting. Like, I actually bought, several bags of it, and I gave it to some of my friends and customers, and they loved it. They said it was incredible.
We sell that for Boy Scouts.
Popcorn.
Right. Boy Scouts sells it, and it's, again, for a thing of popcorn, it's like $25. I'm like, why don't you just go ask people for a donation and then give them a bag of popcorn from the
But I don't get kids that come and do that anymore. Like knock on your door, give you the whole, hey, I played Little League, I played football, I on the Boy Scouts, whatever. I've never, I think maybe the 30 years that I lived down here in Florida, I've never experienced that. Yeah. Whereas in Atlanta, growing up, that was a every sport event. If you played a sport, if you did an activity after school, you had to fundraise and you went out and hustled and did what you had to do. And you overcharge somebody just so you could eat one bar by yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah. But I think it's a trust issue as well as, I think sometimes the world is bigger when you're a kid. Like we probably felt like we was going all over the place, but we only went to our couple streets in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't remember. I do remember combing our neighborhood, but like I do let Max go do it. He doesn't have to do it anymore, but we also, he knows every neighbor that he's going to call on.
Krispy Kreme was a good one too.
Yes. Selling that on Saturday, you go out.
Road.
Yes. Yeah. Forgot about that.
Was Riverdale Road and
it's still the only. Like it's up in River. That's still the only Krispy Kreme on the south side.
Really?
Yeah. I drove up there during COVID. It was good. So, you sold candy bars in high school. Since we talking about candy, you started in middle school?
Yeah, I had the moniker as the Candy Man, and I sold candy from the time I was in 7th grade until high school graduating.
It's funny. It's bad. I always thought you was joking and you were actually selling drugs because you're like, no, I'm selling candy. And then I remember, I finally saw you with all the candy. I was like, oh, you're actually selling candy.
I had teachers approach me and thought that was
a cover
going on. And I probably made as much money selling candy as I could have selling.
Yeah. Which I tried to talk Max into it. I'm guessing it's probably frowned upon. I don't know if it's illegal, but
I did it so long and so much, I had the teachers hooked.
Yeah.
The teachers were coming to me like crackheads.
Did you give them samples like, hey, this was free? Here's your Twix.
I would give some free samples out, and I would give people some credit as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And every now and then you had to collect. I'd give them about 2 bars.
Yeah.
And once they got through the 2 bars, then I'd be like, I got to get that dollar from you.
Yeah. What a hustle. I mean, I would think that would be huge right now for a kid to do. They would make so much money because all these kids have so much money in their pockets.
It taught me like just savviness on how to hold your money.
Right.
Everywhere you go, people want your money. People want to relieve you from your money and take that money no matter what. If you go to the mall or whatever. But it taught me like to save and get what I wanted to get. Back then the biggest thing was just having some fly sneakers.
Yes. That was 100%.
Having some fly sneakers.
Having some Reeboks is what it started with. That was the first time I remember a fly sneaker. And obviously that was a long time ago because it had the little fur on the inside.
Yeah.
Remember that shoe?
I remember that shoe.
But then it turned
into... I never owned Reeboks. Every shoe I had was, I think, Adidas. And then, like in 6th grade, I remember a dude, Kevin Haygood. You remember Kevin Haygood?
No.
He rolled up in some damn suede ponies.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, man, I'm going to get me some of those. So I rocked the suede ponies, and then from there, I've pretty much been Adidas.
Yeah. I saw a post that somebody was asking what was the most fly shoe that existed when we were kids that doesn't exist now.
Adidas, probably.
Well, the K-Swiss. I used to love the K-Swiss.
The K-Swiss was...
Yeah, but the suede Adidas is still around.
Oh, that's not around.
That's not around now.
British Nikes.
British Nikes. That was on the list.
But those were quick. Elise or something like that. E-L-L-E-S-E.
Yes. I never knew what that stood for.
Free Torns. You remember those?
I don't.
They're like real tennis shoes, like tennis players. And
the list had a lot of names on there that I had not heard of, but British Nikes was on there. People said K-Swiss. I had a couple pair of K-Swiss. I had some black K-Swiss boots. If you believe
No,
that.
those were Lotto boots.
Oh, they were Lotto boots. We did have Lotto boots.
Yeah.
I forgot about Lotto.
And that's a soccer.
Is
Isn't that
it?
soccer?
Yeah, I bet it is.
Lotto,
like a farm.
Lotto. That's
Yeah.
like soccer gear. And they had damn like boots, like,
I remember
like a hiking boot.
They were my favorite
Yeah.
shoes for a while. I remember high top Reeboks were in style.
Yeah.
Black high tops. Well, that was more.
But that was those aerobic ones back in like 80.
Yes. We're talking about young.
86,
Yes.
87.
Because we always wore a concert shirt.
Yeah.
Wore Metallica. Well, I don't know. Metallica, it was Megadeth and Kiss and all that.
Yeah.
And the black shoes, stonewashed jeans. This was post Michael Jackson zipper jackets.
Yeah. Not to get off subject, but you remember those? I think everybody called them hummy boots. They were like Indian Native American moccasins that would come up to your knee, and they had like the tassels. And shit. It looked like Tonto boots.
Who was wearing that?
A lot of the rock and roll guys.
Oh yeah. Okay. I was like, I don't remember.
Richard Preston and Joseph Rubino. Them dudes always had those boots.
Really?
Yep.
Were they Indian?
No, definitely not.
They were just rock and roll.
They just like rock and roll a lot.
Yeah. That style has not changed for a lot of the kids that are into metal. I think they still wear stonewashed jeans and hair, the perm. Like, how feminine are those? I mean, that was the hardcore heavy metal, and they were the most feminine. That's almost like a trick they played on society.
Oh.
Like, we're going to get y'all rocking out singing about the devil, but we're going to have dudes dressed up like women with makeup and curly hair.
That, to me, that's all Hollywood.
Yes.
It was all created. It was all to sell albums, just like Kiss and, you know, all these other bands.
Well, did you watch the Motley Crue documentary?
No, I didn't.
It was great. It was good. It was funny because these guys are sitting around, and it shows actual footage, so they actually recorded a lot. And they're talking about how, oh, let's do this because they'll hate it. So, you know, always our parents were like, oh, they're devil worshippers and that's evil. These kids were just truly marketing geniuses. They're like, oh, everybody's going to hate this. The parents are going to hate it. And the kids are going to love it. Let's dress up like this and stick our tongue out. Let's say this in our music and give off this image. It was all a joke.
BS.
Yeah.
It's all Hollywood. It's just Hollywood acting like an art demonstration.
Exactly.
I mean, Gene Simmons is probably the best marketer in the world. Man.
Yes.
I mean, he's made so much money off of all the Kiss stuff, and I mean, I know there's a lot of
Jimmy
Kiss
Buffett
fans. I'm not a big Kiss guy. Their music to me seems a little.
It's
simple,
very average, but
you know?
yeah, it is. It's the makeup and the outfits that made it. Oh, you look at Paul Stanley, and I do like Kiss because I like Cold Gin, some of the harder songs, but I 100% agree. A lot of their songs, they turned garbage pop. Like, it was terrible.
Yeah.
I'd rather listen to NKOB.
But you mentioned another band. You said.
Oh, Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah, Jimmy Buffett.
He is a marketer.
Yeah, but he like puts out creative music that's like poetry with music behind it that is meaningful to a lot of people all over the damn country. You know, where hey, relax, man. It's meaningful. Christine 16.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's Kiss.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, what's meaningful?
Beth, I hear you calling, but I can't come home right now.
I mean, not, you know, even like modern day, if you look at like NWA, you know,
that's not modern.
Well, yeah, what was modern to us?
Yes.
As we got past, like, you know, just rock and roll. But if you look back at that now, and I think there's a lot of people that are kind of, you know, Eazy-E was real. You know, there were a couple guys that were real, and then some of those guys were like almost made up characters.
They weren't.
You know,
that documentary blew my mind. I thought they were all thug life, and Eazy-E was on a. Oh, really?
No,
oh, it's amazing because Eazy-E was the drug dealer. He was the only real gangster.
Yeah.
They brought him in to make the band look hard.
legitimize them.
Right. And he wasn't even the head. He couldn't rap at all. Like, you watch it, and they had to teach him how to rap.
Yeah.
And I was like blown away because the rest of them like were studious, and all they did was write. They didn't drink or smoke. They were just like They were into their music big time. Like, that's all they did.
Yeah.
And that was just amazing. They brought Easy in and taught him to rap, and then it just blew up. And then you get a little harder when you're portraying that image. Then you got to back it up a little bit.
Yeah, and then there's dudes like the Ghetto Boys that, Scarface and Willie D and those guys, Bushwick Bill, they were real guys that will pretty much kill you if they needed to.
Well,
approach them the wrong way.
I've listened to a lot. Well, the stories of MC Hammer, you've heard those?
Yes, that's
crazy with them big parachute pants. But they say he was the toughest.
Don't mess with
you
Hammer.
Do not mess with Hammer.
But they also said his brother.
Right, I think that's what it was. He had a crew.
Yeah.
Because they were Oakland, right?
Yeah, Oakland.
Yeah,
he was in. I think he was part of like the Oakland A's entertainment.
Yeah.
Or something, and I guess his Hammer was from Hammer and Hank Aaron, maybe. Somebody told me that story. Yeah, that he got that nickname from Hammer and Hank Aaron, and you hear so many stories. They also said he has World Series rings.
Oh, really?
Being part of the organization or something. I don't know if that's true, but that would be pretty sweet.
Well, you've heard Third Base tell the story about MC Hammer. You've heard him tell that story?
They have.
Is it Pete Nice or
MC Search?
MC Search is the one telling. Yes, he was talking because he was clowning him in the record, and they were like, "Don't do that. You don't do it." Yeah. And he said they walked up to. He had somehow connected with a Crip. And made friends or did something. I don't remember the whole story. But then he said MC Hammer met him on like an escalator. And he said he was about to get popped. Like he had no clue that he was about that life. Yeah. And he said the Crip was there and was like, nah, he's cool. Leave him alone. And he's like, I learned my lesson. You do not talk about Hammer. That's one of my favorite stories.
That goes to show, man. The old saying, never judge a book by its cover.
Yes. Don't judge a book by their parachute pants. Yeah. And then, so Gary sent out that podcast. Did you watch that with the... Oh, he just sent it like last week with the...
I don't know. I'm the least technologically advanced person.
But you didn't even look at it to see who was... We saw him when we came down on a Miami trip. He was playing a tiny...
DMX?
No.
Fat Joe.
Oh. Fat Joe's on it. And... So I was listening to it, and he was talking about all the rappers, the big rappers that grew up in the same hood. Yeah. Just going back to what you were talking about. They actually were on the streets. In MC Light's story, where she was actually in the hood, and her mom made her take care of her little sister, and they were broke, and she would sneak downstairs and battle people for money. And, like a lot of these people's stories are incredible.
Yeah, I got to check that shit out for sure, man.
So let's go back to North Clayton. What's your best memory of what was it like growing up in the 80s, right next to Flat Shoals Park? I don't know. I remember Jeff Dukes, and it's weird, the little thing. Jeff Dukes and his little, he called it Bear, wasn't it? What kind of, is a chow. It was a chow with a dog. His name was Bear.
Yeah, and it had the whole purple tongue, black fur.
Oh, and they had it on, in my mind, they had it on a big old chain link. I remember,
chain,
you were like,
20-foot-long chain that
they were like, he will kill you.
Close, he'll come out and fuck you up. Excuse my language.
That was
the crazy thing is back then, like in the 80s, at night it'd be 9 o'clock. They'd be like, okay, they would just release him, and he would roam the neighborhood
for real
at night. So if you were out too late at night and you came across Bear, your ass was fucked. He jumped me one time. I swear to God, I was in my yard and that dog came, and I had a white Hanes t-shirt on, and I was playing a wall ball or something, and he came up, and I just froze, and then I started running, and I remember him jumping, and I fell, and he landed on my back, and he was trying to bite me, and my neighbors across the street threw a stick at him and hit him, and he took off, and I remember my shirt had paw prints that wouldn't come out with the wash or whatever. And I was probably like 7 or 8 years old. But at night, they would let him loose, and he would terrorize the neighborhood. But that was normal. We had, I can't remember, maybe it was Scott Edwards or one of the other guys that lived on the backside. They had those Dobermans.
Yeah.
So that was, memories of that neighborhood are awesome. The worst memories of that neighborhood are the fucking dogs that motherfuckers would let go and attack you. You'd be riding your bike in the daytime and you get approached by 3 dogs like they were a fucking gang and they were going to jump you if you didn't give them your damn lunch money. And you'd have to pedal off and put your feet up and run into a fence so you could jump on top of the fence and figure out ways to get away. That was the worst thing about it.
Yeah.
Growing up. But yeah,
I'm jumping all around. You say bicycles, all I think about is BMW. Who was BMW? Bicycle. Oh, we called Jimmy BMW forever.
From getting hit.
He got hit by a BMW. It's like,
yeah,
so
bicycle was the means of transportation.
Everywhere. Because I remember Jabari Russell. I feel like that was his name.
He lived by you, right?
He lived in Thornhedge, which was behind me. And I feel like he had a scooter, like the only kid I ever knew that had
a Spree.
Yes.
A red one, I believe.
And like, you give him 75 cents, he'll drive you because he can get a whole tank of gas for 75 cents. And he would drive you wherever you want. Oh, you want to go get some candy? He would drive all over the place.
It's funny, man. You say that. I mean, God, that was 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe. And I still remember the guys that had those scooters. It was Marcus Naismith, who lived in Potato Woods. It was Robert Jackson, who lived in Castle Cove. It was Jabari Russell, and I think the Gants.
Okay.
Eric, and Jermaine, those guys, I think they had. But I remember it was like one damn Christmas, all of a sudden, everybody had damn Honda Spree scooters.
Not everybody.
Yeah. I mean,
I was assembling bicycles from different parts that I found.
I was riding a bike in college.
Yes. I'm still. Speaking of that, so my claim to fame, I always talk about Jermaine Dupree living in the neighborhood behind me and riding my bus.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I knew Jermaine Dupree or who he was. I just, I know more from y'all because y'all tell me stories about it. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, I probably hung out with him and didn't even know.
Yeah. Like, everybody had, Eddie Weathers and Jermaine Dupree. And, in that, 2-mile radius, man, there's a lot of people that came out of that area.
Where did Latasha Scott live?
She lived, what's that lake? Old National
Pleasant
Park?
Hill?
Yeah, around
Pleasant Hill, the man-made lake with the beach and the square in the middle that you swam out to and you could jump off of.
Yes, and they had the swing, the rope swing.
Yes.
I don't want to jump around, but there's a guy. I don't know if you remember Eric McCall.
Yes.
Eric was cool as hell. He was wearing like a Michael Jackson glove before Michael Jackson was wearing that shit.
Yes.
But he could play like all these instruments. I have not talked to him in years. And I don't have Facebook. I don't do anything like that.
You don't.
And I think my wife said something like, hey, this guy said he knew you or something. So I called him and talked to him. And he's in New York and he's in music. And when we were little kids, it had snowed.
Yeah.
Atlanta, it snows like once a year, and it's like the end of the world, apocalypse. All the kids go out at 6 a.m, play all day. So he and I were like, man, let's go back in the woods and walk the creek on the ice and shit. So we go to that lake, and we're sitting on the outside of the fence looking in to the lake and the swing, and we're just like, oh, that lake was frozen over halfway. And he's like, man, I'm going to go swing on that swing. And I go, man, I wouldn't do that. And he's like, yeah. Well, he goes, it's easy, whatever. So we jump the fence. We climb onto this dock that icy and perfect snow. And he kind of leans over outside to grab because it was almost like a pendulum. And then the rope swing is in the middle.
Right.
So you could reach by grab maybe 4 feet over. So he grabs that rope swing, kind of walks back and just swings. And the rope was frozen and cold. So he swung and just stopped right in the middle.
No.
And he's holding it with gloves on and he's starting to slip. And I'm sitting there like kind of away from him. He's like, help, help, help. I ran, came onto the dock. I kind of leaned over and put my leg out. Yeah. And I go, you're just going to have to grab my leg. And he let go of the rope and grabbed my leg and his feet went in the lake. And, it could have been a lot worse, but I completely forgot about that. And when I called and talked to him within 5 minutes, he's like, man, you remember that time you saved my life? And I was like, what? And he goes, on the rope. I go, oh my God. I was like, Holy shit. But yeah, that Lake Pleasant Hill, I'm
You
sure
probably did.
you talk to anybody that grew up around there in Old National.
I mean, we went to Skate Town, Old National.
College
It's weird how
Park.
that was our edge of the town.
Yeah,
We weren't, even though we were right there, we didn't go to Riverdale.
Yeah.
It obviously transitioned that way, but we went to Old National, Skate Town. I wonder if they still have that wave in the
bumpy
floor.
ass floor.
You had to be good at skating.
Yeah,
Maybe that's why I'm so good at skating now, because you had to roll. We used to go to Steak and Shake. We lived on Biscayne Apartments over there.
Steak and Shake had a little like bowling or skee ball in it.
Yes.
And then what was that? Like it's funny. Like being in Florida, we have smoke shops every 10 feet. The Kratom, whatever the Kratom, all that crazy shit. Back in the day, I remember, what was that? Starship. It was right on Old National, and that was a like smoke shop. And if people were selling weed, they would go buy their nickel bags and dime bags and all that kind of stuff there. And I remember, like, I can't remember. I was maybe not a teenager, but we used to like ride our bikes and try to go in there just to see all the crazy stuff. And I remember being in there, and like typical Georgia '80s shit. You had a old chubby white dude with little ass jean shorts and a mesh football jersey with long hair.
Yeah, I forget about that.
And socks
that was
pulled
the
up
fit.
to his knees.
That was the fit.
And he'd be like standing there, and it was almost like, if you ever go to a bicycle shop or a comic book store, everybody you talk to speaks over your head. Like if you go, hey, I want to buy these bike grips, they were like, those are 10.9 fibers, and you gotta. This comic book was released in 1742, and all these crazy ass like explanations, everything. And I remember a dude walked in, and the guy was like, "Yeah, I need a bag of nickel bags." And the guy's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." He's like, "Yeah, the little nickel bags, nickel bags." He goes, "I don't know what that is. We don't sell nickel bags here like that." And the guy's like, "I buy them here all the time." He goes, "No, you don't." Like, and I'm sitting there. I remember being a little kid listening to this shit, and the guy's like, they're arguing about nickel bags. So what it came out to be is that you can't call them nickel bags because it has an illegal connotation with it. So the guy finally was like, "You mean the little plastic baggies that you put your action figures in?"
Yeah.
Like that. And the guy's like, yeah, the little tiny baggies that I put my hand. He goes, "Oh, I got plenty of those."
Yeah,
and he breaks out like neon yellow ones and all that. Oh, man, it was hilarious.
So it's called a nickel bag because it was only $5.
It was $5.
And the dime bag was 10, and a quarter was $25.
Yep.
And then that's not the same now, I don't think.
You could roll a joint or a reefer cigarette.
Reefer. That was funny.
Reefer.
I'm trying to think some of my best memories is the park. We lived next to the park. The softball tournaments, we kept score, made like $1.50 to do the scoreboard. But playing Cupball, I know your son's playing baseball now. Are they playing Basefree and Cupball?
They're playing Basefree, but they call it wall ball.
Okay.
And it's funny. Yesterday when we were at that little practice, the guy that was there from our park, I was explaining to him what Cupball was.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What?" And I've never seen anybody do it, but the one time we ate there and they had the aluminum foil, and I made a Cupball, and I gave it to my son. You got to get one of those waxy cups.
Yeah.
It was a cup that you could stand on, and it was paper, and it wouldn't break. And it was full of wax, had the Coca-Cola logo.
Yeah.
And you put your hand there, it was waterproof, and then you hit the foil ball with the damn cup. And they were like, "What?" They looked at me like I was crazy.
Yeah. Well, we made the balls out of
the cup too.
That's because I remember back in the day, every foul ball, you got a free Coke.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Like you took the foul ball at the concession stand, and they gave you a free Coke.
Now they give them a popsicle. Like
that's
icy
good.
pop,
That's better. Yeah. I drank a lot of Cokes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody lived on Coke.
Yeah. We lived at the park. I mean, the hamburgers and the...
Every day, man. I mean, that's the weird thing, I think, today is that, the park that we play at is in a neighborhood, just like we grew up.
Right.
If you go there on the weekdays, there's hardly anybody there unless it's teams practicing.
Right.
If you go on Saturday, Sunday, there's hardly anybody there unless the team's practicing. I remember times where there would be 100 kids easily playing peg, where you just take a damn piece of aluminum foil, make a ball. One guy's hitting it, he's got to hit everybody like freeze tag.
Yeah.
And you peg the shit out of them with the ball, and it's older kids hitting the shit out of younger kids. And
what was a game where I think we played with a racquetball, and I don't remember if you smashed it into the ground and it shot way up in the air, and whoever caught it, like if it touched you, you had to run to the opposite end zone and they could peg you.
Yeah, that was a tennis ball, but you threw it straight in the air.
I couldn't remember if you threw it or bounced it.
Yeah.
And then so you'd have some kids that were, like some kids would not try to catch it all. They wouldn't even try. Yeah. And then we'd try to hit them, like push them into it, stuff like that. Yeah. I used to love that. You talk about running.
Oh, yeah. And to be honest, man, like you see these like ESPN Ocho and all that crazy shit where they'll have dodgeball and all. That game should be on there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that game was genius. I don't know which kid came up with that shit.
It was me.
You had the relay. So
you would throw it to somebody else. Somebody would run with him.
Yeah.
And like throw it.
With you. Catch the relay, and then you light their ass up.
I forgot about that because sometimes when it would come down, you would hit it away. So that you could take off.
Exactly.
The people that really wanted to get involved. That was, and tackle the man with the football.
Yeah. Go real quick, that one game, back to that one game. I remember the older kids, I think maybe the older kids were like, hey, let's play this game just so we can hit these little kids with the ball. Because I remember Jeff Dew, Scott Wilson, maybe, not Carlton Miller, maybe Karsten Miller.
Karsten Green?
Karsten Green.
Yeah.
And they would be like playing, and you would do that, and they would already be at the end zone, and you'd think you had it. They would throw the ball all the way to the damn end zone, and he'd be waiting for you.
I mean, a tennis ball right now would hurt. I guess maybe we didn't throw it. I don't know. I just remember we were relentless.
Oh, yeah.
Like there was no holding anything back. You were 8, because I know it was my brothers and a lot of their friends, and I'd be out there running, and they'd peg me right. They'd aim for my eyeball. Like didn't even care.
Yeah.
There wasn't a parent within a mile.
Cry. You just shake it off. You get in a fight with an older kid, he beat you up.
I got so many fights. Yes. I got in so many fights as a kid. I got beat up a lot too.
But the park.
But that was my brothers.
Yeah, that's what happens when you got older brothers. The park was relentless, man. You know, you build character, you build relationships, friendships. Yeah, I don't see that.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just, to me, it's weird growing up that long at the park. Like you cut through a little piece of grass or somebody's yard.
Yeah.
Nowadays, shit, they'd kill you if you cut through somebody's yard.
It was Scott Wilson's yard.
Yeah, Scott Wilson, that one hump.
That you had to go down that big hill.
Yeah,
and the basketball goal was
nowadays,
right there.
if you had a path or any little, different neighbors would be like, "What are you doing in my yard? I'm calling the police." Like,
some of them.
It's crazy.
That's true. That was true.
That was, I mean, that was it.
I just think about, like, at my youngest memories, there was no summer camps. Like, we were 6 and 7 and walking across the street to the park while my mom was at work till 5 o'clock and playing ball, and then we somehow made it home. I feel like we ate so much cereal and that Buddy's ham. That I tell people, I guess not a lot of people ate that stuff. It was like a little small pack. It was called Buddy's. It was some nasty pressed ham. Like you could get like 3 for $1 for a pack.
It was like as thin as a sheet of paper.
Oh yeah, it was
about the same consistency.
Yes, and they had ham and turkey, but the only difference was the color.
Yeah,
because it tasted
same shit, same taste.
It
they put a little red dye and orange dye to make it look like ham.
It's that stuff. I don't know. And SpaghettiOs and raviolis. Like we did a lot of cooking for ourselves.
Making up shit.
Yeah, I don't know. There was no Pop-Tarts and Hostess. Even though you remember on Riverdale Road there was
the Thrift Bakery.
The Thrift Bakery. My mom would take us in there. I feel like it was like 5 for $1 for Twinkies and Hostess. We come home with
the apple pie.
Yes, those apple pies. That was good. That was delicious.
Now the summer camp thing is funny that you mentioned that because my kids we got a family. Both me and my wife we work, so obviously sometimes we have to do camps and stuff like that. And it's it's kind of a cost of babysitting kind of thing. And my son, like, I was like, hey man, how was camp? What, what'd you do? And he said something. He's like, oh, you don't got a story to tell me about camp? And I was like, well,
you do tell that kid some stories.
I was like, first of all, we didn't have camp.
Yeah, what?
I go, I never went to a camp ever in my life.
I didn't. I went to vacation Bible school maybe twice.
We had one thing like, I was raised Catholic, St. Philip's Benizi over in Jonesboro.
Benizi.
And they have, confirmation and all the different things you have to do. I went like one weekend to like confirmation camp, but because I played sports and different things, I had activities on Sundays. I was like 18 going to confirmation with kids that were like 13. So I went to a camp and I'm sitting there and these kids are talking about, oh yeah, whatever, Thundercats and all that shit. And I'm like, shit, I already been to the club, And I had nothing in common. And one of my friends, her family had moved from Germany there. And she was going through the same thing I was. We were the same age.
Yeah.
And we still keep in touch and everything. I was the same age. So we were both the 18-year-olds that had been to clubs and stuff like that. And these kids are talking about Thundercats and Gummy Bears and all the other little cartoons.
Yeah, my kids did summer camps all summer, even though they didn't need to.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a great experience. So it was a big difference. And that was one thing I wish I would have done at least once. Because, we had the movie Meatballs.
Oh, yeah.
That made me, but I was like,
all those movies were summer camp movies.
I wish. And it was another great movie that I had to watch. Like, I want to watch Porky's again. Like, that was cutting edge. It would probably be garbage. It probably would be.
Like a camp movie that's good, that's not like old as Major Payne.
Oh,
that's just hilarious.
Well, that's not really camp. That's like a military.
Military camp.
No, it's a military school. But my kids have watched that, and that is definitely one of the best movies. That was well done. I don't know if they did a second one. I don't know.
I think the little bitty kid in that movie is that kid that's always on like podcasts, and he's kind of out there. He's talking about Puff Daddy. Yeah, he's grown up now. He's odd. Like says a lot of outlandish shit, but whatever. But yeah, summer camp, man. I never did that.
Yeah.
Never had experience with it. My kids, they've both been to more summer camps than I've ever even heard of.
My kid's been to space camp.
That's cool.
It was cool. But that was,
you remember Shane Snow?
Oh yeah,
and Matt Snow.
I love
Shane
Matt.
Snow went
to. I feel like that too.
Camp, like summer camp or NASA camp or something like that.
I need to track Matt down because I always liked him. Like he was like.
Yeah, they were good, nice guys.
Yeah, he just. I don't know. It's hard to describe. Like some people, when I get older, I realize they didn't change or act in any sort of way except for when, like, he had his interests and he stuck to it, and I loved it. I think he went to school, and maybe he went to Stanford.
That's what I think so too, because I went to Mercer, and Mercer played Stanford in sports. And I remember I thought I maybe had seen him at there or something. It's been a long time. But.
So besides John Dudak, who was the greatest athlete that you saw come through North Clay? It could be a mini Bruce. It could be a middle schooler.
Man, there's a lot of them, man.
You remember Mike Williams?
Yeah.
I think he passed away. I think something he had. He used to freestyle on the bus on the way to football games. And we would be dying. I've never met a funnier person in my life. Like, I'm talking about every single game. He would freestyle, and he would, or a little bit later, I had some friends that when I was out of college, they called it roll call. And they would just, like, diss on each other. But Mike would just do it, I'm talking about for 30 minutes. And it'd be the funniest. It wouldn't just be talent. It was just hilarious.
See, that's funny. Like, with the name Williams is a common name, but when I was in school there, we had a guy, Jason Williams, that was older.
Yeah.
And, man, he was the same way. He used to do, like, beats and freestyle, hitting on the seat, you know, and coming up with songs. And, he said some funny stuff, man. He said some funny stuff.
So you had Karl Miller. The whole Miller family was incredible. Ozzie was
all
incredible.
The girls were athletic.
Yes.
Man, that's really tough because there's so many kids that were very athletic, but I remember like.
Well, Shockley, but he wasn't with us. You remember?
No, Shockley was way younger than me.
Yeah, but more I bring it up is because his dad was coach while we were there.
I remember he would bring him
to
practice, and he'd be hanging out, and he would always, Coach Shockley was funny and he was tough, and he'd be like, "Man, my son hits harder than y'all," and it's just funny to see. He goes, "He's gonna be way better than y'all." And then he's, he got to play, and he was. But it's funny. There's two kids that stand out, and I think both of them ended up playing college football, and I think both of them ended up playing a little pro football. But it's strange. Obviously, there's a lot of great athletes that never get to play and make it. Whatever. But there was a kid, Marino Philippa. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. And Tyrone Keith. Tyrone Keith lived across the street from me. And he was little. He was like my little sister's age. But those two guys, I remember they would be little and at the park. And they were athletic as hell. Like every sport, fast as hell. Marino was a big guy. Like he was very tall and skinny and could run, play baseball. I think he went to Troy State. And Tyrone, I know, went to Cincinnati and played with the Bearcats. And I remember seeing him, take kickoffs and stuff like that. And I just remember, like, I would catch him when he was a little kid, and he could pitch and throw and just any sport. He just was good at it. Somebody told me his son is like one of the top recruited basketball players in the country.
Wow.
And the other crazy thing about that is I remember he had a little sister that was like 5, and she could throw a damn football and shoot basketballs and stuff like that. But, they had a goal on the side of their house. They had a yard. The next door neighbor's yard had a big football, almost size lot that everybody would play football. But a lot of it had to do with that's what we did.
That's all we did.
Not everybody had video games. Not everybody had a bike. That was our phone and our iPad and our PlayStation was a damn bike and some kind of ball or something. It was very simple and easy. But there's so many athletes there. Chelonzo Miller was awesome. His sister was awesome.
So did Karl play at Georgia basketball? I felt like one of the Millers was a wide receiver.
Yeah,
I know Ozzie was incredible.
Karl played at Georgia Southern. I think he has some. He played there when they won those national championships for whatever division.
Okay, we had somebody played basketball at Georgia. I don't know if it was a Miller or somebody played basketball at Georgia, and I felt like somebody was a receiver.
I mean, there's a lot. Like
Karsten was incredible. He was the fastest dude in the world. Sam, what year did you graduate high school?
93.
93. So I'm 2 years older than you. So some of the older people I know, where I was young, I was in 9th grade when they were seniors. And so you might have still been in middle school, or what was it called there?
Middle school, right? Or junior high.
Junior high, that's what it was. Like that was before, that's when it was 7th, 8th, and 9th. Was middle school or junior high and high school.
Yeah, when you said I'm thinking of I remember. I know Hines Ward didn't go to North Clay. He went to Forest Park, but he played at Flat Shoals Park.
Yeah,
and I remember him being a great.
What's that? Rodney Magnum
Rodney Magnum.
I don't think he didn't go to North Clay, but he played ball. Yeah, he was the NCAA Eagle.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's funny the Eagles. They showed a picture of Cam Newton in his little Eagles uniform with his knees with the button like they used to do. So I sent it to you and your brothers. I had him, and then I had my little picture with the same uniform on, and I said, hey, post your uniform on LinkedIn or something. Maybe that's probably why.
I never saw it.
But yeah, so it was funny. But Cam Newton has that same stance on his knees with the same picture.
I forgot they always sold those buttons, and your mom would have all the buttons, especially when she's got 3 boys.
So it's
crazy, buttons
like
and ribbons.
You think about the guys that went to. Didn't Marquise Grissom play there a little bit, or maybe he was at Fairburn or something like that? But there's so many. It doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. I'm naming somebody. I feel like I'm taking away from other guys.
Oh no, well we can't.
You
We old as hell.
Gals. Remember Brownie Vaughn?
Yes.
She was a
wow.
hell of an
Forgot
athlete,
about her.
man.
And she was nice too.
Yeah, nice. I think she could ride wheelies forever on a bike.
I ain't heard that name. I've never.
Throw baseballs. You know, so
was she softball or
softball? Yeah, she played softball.
All right, somebody track her down.
Baseball. Like I remember one
Brownie.
time.
I remember that. Like she was like. I don't know, like she was like a superstar, like a famous person in your community that if she came by, people stopped.
Oh yeah, basketball, she was good. Man, this is no lie. It's odd, you know, but when I started working here in Florida, there was a girl or woman by the name of Linda McClain, and she worked for a distributor. We just were randomly talking and something. She goes, "Oh, I'm from Morrow, Georgia." I go, "Oh, I'm from North Clayton," and she goes, "Oh my God." And she goes, "Do you know Brownie Vaughn?" And I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "I played basketball with her. I was her same age." And she goes, "God, she was incredible." And it's just, I was like, man, that's so weird. You know, 20 years later, you hear that name, and it was what we remember her.
We got to
being
track
able to
her down.
Play, you know, sport. I remember, like, the boys would be playing baseball, and she would come out there, and she would fucking throw the ball, you know, with gas, you know, like she was just a very good athlete. And again, man, I think it's just there's none of the distractions that exist today. Kids went out and played and did stuff.
See, I think that's probably why everybody, when their generation becomes our age, starts thinking ours was better, and you kids. Because those memories, like I can remember cars. I can remember the first IROC Z I saw. I remember the first 280ZX. I remember the first Jeep that I ever saw that was nice, that rolling through there. And it just was.
Things were simple because, again, you type in anything on your phone and you see exactly what you want to see.
Right.
You know,
so there's nothing new. There's no
like,
surprises.
I don't want to say creativity because obviously there's tons of creativity,
a lot of creativity,
but it's just not the same type of creativity, and it's not the same.
Now it's dances and Vines. Yeah. I miss Vines. I'm trying to bring Vines back because they got a TikTok page.
See, you don't know nothing about Vines. I don't even know what Vines is. I thought you were talking about rope swings when we were little kids and somebody cut a vine and you swing over the creek.
Yeah. No, Vines was the original, like, before TikTok, before Reels. They were doing all these short, crazy creative videos. Yeah. And Twitter owned them. Yeah. And Twitter shut it down, said it wasn't making money. I was like, if y'all ain't making money off of that, that's crazy. But Elon says he's going to try to bring it back. I think it would compete with TikTok. It was so, I don't know why it's different, but it was just so creative. It was just off the wall. It was more, I felt like it was more creative than it was like, TikTok is more just videos of you replicating what other people are doing. Yeah. Not there's a lot of creative stuff on there, so
it's just different, like everything. But you know, when you say like oh, it's a great error or whatever, I just feel like there is definitely a better connection with humans. The one thing that I'm not like that spiritual or whatever, but I feel like we're humans, which human is an animal. You know, it's not deep enough where we all think we're this, we're that, we got this, we got that. But in reality, we're not going to be here very long.
Right.
And life is truly about the connections that you make, you know, the people that you reach out to. And for me, like when I said earlier, I'm like, yeah, I told my son a story. And you're like, oh, you tell your son a story. Man, like, I think word of mouth stories, the art of storytelling, doesn't exist, man.
My brother Michael is the best at that.
And he's our age. Like, kids nowadays, man, you say, hey, tell me a story. They're like, I went to the video game store and bought a, you know, they don't, like our age group, our parents' age group, like my dad, it's funny. My dad might tell a story that I've heard, you know, 4 times or 3 times. I don't interrupt them and say, hey, because I still like the story, you know?
I've got to get better at that because to be honest, I don't tell my kids a whole lot of stories. Like, well, some of them I'm like, You ain't old enough to hear that.
There's a lot of that.
No, we're not going to talk about that.
I think that's important, man. Like to be able to tell a story and just, you know, like when people, the basic human was that. The basic human was you sit around a fire, or you sit somewhere and you tell stories of where you came from, what you are, what you think is up in the sky, you know, all that. And you were connected with, you know, your environment, you know, people, and you just, that was it, man. The you know, lineage of passing things down verbally.
Yeah.
That's like you see movies.
Now we pass it down through video.
Yeah. And you see movies, and some of the movies are regurgitated movies, and it's like, did we forget like how to tell a good story? I mean, granted, there's great movies out there. There's all, but I see some of the stuff. I like, you know, I saw Running Man is coming back out.
Yeah. I
mean, Running Man was great, but this one will be way better because it's
right. I think that's why a lot of the movies are great now. Is because they figured out how to hold people's attention span, lots of flashes and bangs.
Yeah. And it's better cinematography, you know.
Like, is there a good Dead Poet Society or Field of Dreams? Like, those movies might move a little bit slower, but they had incredible stories to them.
Remember the Titans, you know. You have good movies like that still, but you know, it's just, I don't want to get off this. But I think the art of storytelling is hugely important and ingrained in who we are. Like as animals that happen to be human beings, you know.
I think it's also a skill. You've always had that skill. My brother Mike, if he's talking, he's telling a story.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like,
that's awesome.
It is. He's just nonstop. He wants to go by North Clay every time he comes down. He wants to go by the park, show his kids, and they're like, "Dad, we've seen it every time we come here."
The home run over there, that tree.
Let's go see if my ball's still there. Yeah. So how's it different with you've got a daughter doing gymnastics and all that? Not to ignore her, but we have nothing to compare that to. But how's baseball different? You've got a son that's, how old is he now? 8. So he's playing rec baseball, he's playing travel baseball, wrestling, he's hockey, and all at the same time. This ain't just like you playing all of them right now.
With obviously me, I liked sports, and where we grew up, sports were important. So when my son was little, you know, I don't do all the social media. I don't need any other, you know, distractions or anything. So when he was little, I don't know, we always played sports, and then part of him growing up was in the COVID era, and, you know, there was nothing to do. So all we did was go play. We'd make rope swings, make swords, all that kind of stuff. And one day he was little as hell, and he's like, "Daddy, I'm a sports guy," and was like happy about it. So I was like, "All right, shit. If you're a sports guy, we're going to do sports." And the first time he played Little League, baseball, whatever, you know, we did T-ball, you know, nothing crazy. And when we were done, I was like, "Hey, baseball's over. Do you want to do anything else?" And he was like, "Yeah, I want to do hockey." And I was like, "I don't know a damn thing about hockey."
Nothing.
I think I put a pair of skates on one time. And I was in Chicago, and I went around the ice one time, and I was like, "This is not roller skating," because I could roller skate good and backwards and all that, but it was definitely different. And I was like, "Oh shit, how do I do that?" And I signed him up, and he had to do, like, they'd make you do a learn to skate first, and then you learn to skate, and he did that, and he liked it. He thought it was fun. And my little daughter, she did it as well.
She played hockey too?
No, not hockey. Just learn to skate.
Just skate, okay.
And you learn to skate first, and she liked it. And she still skates and stuff. She just, it wasn't her cup of tea. She likes gymnastics.
Tennis. I didn't know little kids took tennis lessons.
Yeah, she likes it. You know, anything we can do to keep them active, I'm all about that.
Well, she is active, because I had to invent like 40 new gymnastic moves.
Challenge you to a gymnastics battle in a heartbeat.
Yes.
I want to teach her how to break dance, I think.
Oh, she could do that.
She could be in the Olympics.
Yeah.
You're seeing that girl from Australia.
That was terrible.
She might win the gold medal.
So we joked about, like, you had practice after practice after practice this week, and we joked about or at least I did. The oven mitts they're wearing on their hands and the 4 bats. Is that just part of the growth of the game and the economy that everybody really has the disposable income?
Yeah.
Is it obnoxious or just part of it and kids are enjoying it?
To me, I'm a traditionalist when it comes to any sport. And I think to me, some of that stuff's obnoxious, but it's the same shit when, for us, it was wristbands. You know,
Oh, yeah.
One kid would show up with some damn wristbands, you know, maybe an eye black.
Yeah, we had the necklace too, the rock necklaces.
Yeah, the seashell.
Yeah, the seashell.
You know, so, yeah, I get it. But our families didn't have the disposable income where they could be like, oh, that's a $400 bat. Oh, let me buy 2 of those. You got a purple one? You know, so it's cool, but I get it. And as long as the kids like being out there and come out, buy them a damn bat, buy them a oven mitt, sliding glove, you know, whatever the hell they want to do to keep them out there. And that's to me, that's the most important.
You remember that coaching bag? Like,
oh, yeah.
Like when we were little.
Military bag.
Yeah, and the kid, every coach was given a bag. Yeah. It had 2 bats, and they probably gave them 12 balls for the whole season. Yeah.
And I think that bag, if anybody's ever played baseball in the 80s and 70s, that bag is the international bag of Little League. Because you mentioned like the whole hockey thing. I'll get back to that in a minute. But one of the guys that my son plays hockey with his son, he brought that up. He goes, man, I remember we used to get, and they're in Boston. Or from Boston. He goes, I remember we would show up, our coach would have that military. I'm not military, I can't remember what that bag is called, but there's a name for it, you know, where it turns into like a duffel bag or backpack.
Okay.
I don't know what the heck.
I don't know.
I'm sure everybody knows what we're talking about, but yeah.
Like a rucksack?
He goes, yeah, they would show up with that military bag. He's ex-military, so he goes, they show up with that bag, and you'd have 4 helmets, 2 bats, some balls, and maybe a catcher's glove, and the orange chest protector.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, that's what it was. And I think it's because, you know, our country and our economy, that's what we could have, you know.
The Bad News Bears, like if you've watched that movie, if your kids, that's what it was like. Yeah. You almost had a coach that literally rocked out with a beer and a cigarette. Yeah. And he was happy to have them. Like,
smoke, you know.
They did.
They all had those little ass bike coaching shorts. And a shirt that was like it was like a light red shirt, but the band around the arms and the band around the neck was dark red.
Coach Everett, you remember John Everett? Man. He'll hit me up on Facebook once in a while. Yeah, so I just remember he had them shorts, and they'd fold them down in the front, like up here, like it'd be unbuttoned and folded down. Like that's a little inappropriate. We look back on it,
dude. Like you know, I'm sure kids experience that, but, you know, I played Little League football, but going to middle school football was different, you know? Like, you had to be there at 6 in the morning, and you had 2 practices a day, and it was hot, and it was miserable. And I remember, like, going in his office, and I was like, Coach, man, I don't think this is for me. Like, and Coach Everett, like, man, he talked me off the ledge, man. He was like, man, I want you to stay out here. I mean, I remember that, sitting in his office, coming in his office, the little desk he had in the door, and he was all built, you know, how he was always built. He was like that deep-ass voice.
He looked like Hulk Hogan, like
Hulk Hogan.
He did. He had the blonde hair.
The reddish blonde and kind of long. And he was like, he goes, look, man, he goes, this ain't the first time a kid come in here. He goes, every day a kid comes in here and feels this way. And, I mean, man, he gave me the best pep talk, and he goes, I don't want you to leave. He goes, I believe in you, and man, I walked out there. I was like, never again thought about that. And loved it, and he was a good coach.
I do love watching those shows like the Wonder Years, and then you know that '70s show, which that's a little older than us, but a lot of those movies that I feel like they do a pretty decent job of representing what it was like.
Yeah, for sure, man. Sure,
use the right lane to take
the Little League baseball stuff. It's
17 north toward Disney World.
You know, I'm not a travel ball guy. I really didn't. Like I always was like, I don't want to do travel ball, man. To have a kid traveling around and doing, you know, you can get your butt kicked in the same city you live in. Why go to Jacksonville and do the same thing at 7 and 8 years old? But the thing that and what changed my mind is like meeting the program that we're at right now. The program that we're at those guys get it. They're ex-major league players, minor league guys, college guys, and they understand. They're 8 years old. Most of the kids are 8, 9, and 10, and then it goes up. But their whole focus is to have fun, get the kids to really like baseball and play baseball the way it's played. Not these crazy pitching machines, coach pitch until they're 9 years. All this, it's baseball. They've been playing it 100 years. It changes a little bit here and there, but they want to keep it simple, and they don't want the parents involved. Like some of the stuff just in children's sports, everybody sees it. It's all over, TikTok, YouTube, where parents are fighting umpires, arguing umpires. I mean, what is that? That is the most insane shit I've ever seen in my life. It's
I remember
crazy.
a fight though when we were kids.
Yeah, I remember.
You remember Chris Lee? He lived right across the street from me.
Yeah.
His dad looked just like Michael Jordan. Looked just like it. And I remember he ran down to third base. I don't remember who the coach was on third base, but he was smaller than Chris Lee, and he picked him up, and Chris Lee was already a foot taller, and he was just I was probably 12. And he was punching
probably deeper,
Oh, I'm sure. There's no telling. That's the only. I don't remember any other arguments or anything like that, but
I mean,
it
we get
definitely
shit where a
existed.
kid strikes out and their parents are
Right.
ready to kill the umpire. I remember I won't get too deep into all the bullshit, but I was coaching third base, and we got a kid. He was the oldest kid in the league. He's really fast. He's an aggressive kid, and I will never hinder a kid if they're aggressive.
Right.
Because most kids don't have any aggressive.
You can't teach that, so you don't want to take it away.
I ain't taking it away. So he's running back and forth, trying to get, and you can't steal. So he's just getting the attention from the catcher, ball going from the catcher to pitcher. And then he's doing that, and then the damn catcher throws the ball over the pitcher's head, and he runs and scores.
Oh, wow.
The coaches in the dugout, I'm at third base, they're on the third base side. They go, that's Bush League, that's Bush League, that's Bush League.
You hear that comment a lot on, I see TikToks is this Bush League or not? And I'm always in the middle. I'm like, it's whatever it takes. There's somebody in the majors that is I don't watch enough baseball. There's somebody in the majors that's incredibly fast.
Illy De La Cruz.
And and just steals home like that. And I'm just, I love it. It makes it exciting.
Well, Bush League, most of the people that say Bush League have no fucking clue what Bush League is.
Right.
They have no clue. Man,
Dang.
film a movie there.
I know. There's still mattresses out and everything. That's like Walking Dead. I wonder if it's a movie set.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
But they don't know. So and again, it's not wins or losses.
Right.
But we were beating the heck out of that team.
Yeah.
We were only up 5 or 6 runs at that time when he did that. And we scored. We ended up winning by 1 run.
Oh, yeah. So
And it was 11-10. So, but when those guys say that, their kids are in the field and there's only 1 kid, I think, on the bench or something. It's 4 dads yelling at a 7-year-old that he's Bush League. No, he was oldest, so he's 8 or 9. They're telling him he's Bush League. Man, I turned around, I walked over to the dugout. I'm like, look, man. I go, you guys need to chill out. I go, he is 8 or 9. They're like, well, what are you teaching him? What are you teaching him? I'm like, I'm teaching him to be aggressive.
Yeah.
I go, I'm not going to tell an 8-year-old not to do, but that's Bush League, blah, 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 all that. And I go, you know what Bush League is? That you got a catcher that can't throw the ball back to the damn pitcher. You need to teach him how to do that every time. Don't, push this kid's progression back because your guy is not throwing the ball back to the pitcher. He should be stepping in front of home plate. He threw the damn ball from his knees. I'm like, teach these kids the right thing. And don't come at me with that. And I cussed. I was like, don't come at me with that bullshit. You call some 8-year-old Bush League. I go, that's the dumbest ass shit I've ever heard in my life. And after the game, all 4 of those coaches, or 3 of them, apologized. And they're like, man, we're sorry for saying that. We shouldn't have said that. I'm just like,
that's good.
I'm like, you gotta, man, these are little kids. You cannot come at them that way.
Yeah.
If that kid wanted to do that every time, I'd be happy with it.
Yeah. All right, we're pushing an hour. Let's wrap up with, we both grew up with hip hop, rap music. Tell me a rap band today that you enjoy listening to? What is out there right now that comparable, or is there anything out there that you enjoy?
Well, first of all, I don't know any rap bands.
Outkast was a rap band. They had all kind of instruments.
Corn a rap band? Some rap groups.
Rap groups. Okay.
I like that Coastal Contra, or it's like a group of guys that kind of have like a Wu-Tang vibe. I may even be saying the shit wrong, but
so Kendrick Lamar, what is that whole battle? Drake, like
I'm not a Drake guy. I think he has too many songs that have shit that we knew.
Yeah.
That he'll throw it in there and it's
too many
like
samples.
Yeah, too many samples, but not like music samples, like the actual lyrics, but change them a little bit. And you know, I'm not into that. Man. I'm into guys being creative. Trying to think. Yeah, I'm still listening to Too Short.
Yeah, I love it. Obviously, I love all the 80s and 90s rap. But I really got into T.I. and that whole era with, I feel like Georgia football made me like a lot of rap songs because they play it loud on the speakers and you just get hype. And I was like, I love it.
I like T.I. Obviously, I mean, the newest stuff other than, the group I just told you about, probably like 2 Chainz.
Yeah, that's
Outkast. I mean,
like I call them a band because I just feel like that was talent, like top to bottom.
Oh yeah,
they developed. They started with just some spitting raps in the basement, in the dungeon, and then just developed into marketing and just everything else they did. Movies. I just can't say enough about them.
Yeah,
that's definitely my favorite.
They definitely blew Atlanta up. I mean, there's guys before that. Was a guy from
Goody Mob too, though, right there with Outkast. I love that.
Remember Kilo?
Yeah.
Gotta remember Kilo.
All right, we are at Disney World, so we're actually going to the resort. We're gonna see Mickey Mouse.
Maybe.
All right. You said I might see Emmett Smith, though, right?
Emmett Smith is tomorrow, David.
Oh, I wore my Georgia gear for no reason. Oh, well.
Maybe he'll be hanging out there.
Yeah, maybe.
Or you can take that shirt off and give it to me. I'll wear it for you.
Okay, I'll do it. Tell him.
And then I'll say, "Go Gators."
Okay. All right, we're signing off. Closing Time Podcast. Thank you, Mr. John Dudak, representing Tampa.
5,000.
Howdy. Peace.
Some days are non-stop. You blink and suddenly it's 4 p.m., you've skipped lunch, and you're just trying to make it to dinner without crashing. That's exactly the moment when I reach for my buddy David.
Come on now.
David protein bars are made for moments like that. They're packed with 28 grams of protein, just 150 calories, and absolutely 0 sugar.
Guys.
Are you having a David day?
I'm having a David day today.
Yeah.
There's one in the backpack right now. I'm about to pound it with some water.
What's that flavor?
It's
that
vanilla.
flavor?
It's the vanilla joint. And it tastes good. Right? Because a lot of these things are sort of chalky and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, this thing tastes good.
I look forward to it.
Right after the workout, if I put one down, like I feel my muscles. I feel strong like Popeye.
Yeah.
You guys understand what I'm telling you?
And I don't know what it is. If you're a sensory person, but they got these little crispy, crunchy
Yeah, they've got like a little
balls in them.
crunchy.
And they got that little crunch.
Yes.
Little crunch.
Yeah.
Very satisfying.
I dig it.
Well, most protein bars are candy bars in disguise.
Right.
But David is different. With 75% of its calories coming from protein, it's one of the highest protein to calorie ratios you will find anywhere. Plus, gotta say, the packaging is iconic. The ingredients are clean and the flavors are so good. I am a peanut butter girly for life. So anything peanut butter is going to be my jam.
As soon as you pull one out, people are like, that looks expensive.
It's
classy
It just
packaging.
looks fancy.
Yeah.
It's good. David is ideal for people looking to increase protein, cut sugar, and manage calorie intake. That's why I always have David protein bars with me. David is offering our listeners a deal to buy 4 cartons and get the 5th free at davidprotein.com/thatwasus. That's davidprotein.com/thatwasus to get your 5th carton free.